Hello, everybody. It's Ian Johnson from Flexpipe. We're here at the Assembly Show in Chicago, Illinois. I'm here with Rob Hargis of Steute Technologies, and we're looking and talking to Rob about his flow rack sensor. Of course, this is a Flexpipe flow rack, and this sensor is provided by Steute Technologies. But of course, there's so much more about what your product does. So perhaps you can start off just by explaining what the flow rack sensor is, how it works, how it communicates, and some of the features and benefits. Let's start first with, taking a look at the product, holding it up, and you taking us through how it's assembled and everything.
Perfect. Thank you, Ian. So at Steute Technology, what we've done is we created an industrial wireless solution called NEXY. And what NEXY does is it allows you to streamline your inventory replenishment process by utilizing our wireless sensor technology. Here in my hands, I have a wireless flow rack sensor. And the great thing about this is when it goes to the customer, it's all hand assembled, so it just all pops together. What happens is then is you put it on the flow rack, connect it, it's automatically in place, it's sturdy, and it's not going anywhere. So everything, it's easy to install, and it's very durable.
Okay.
The great thing about it also, like I said, it's manufactured for specifically flow racks like this Flexpipe flow rack that we're standing in front of today. And what all these sensors are wireless, so we're talking 915 megahertz radio frequency, so we're not Wi-Fi, so we're not battling with a lot of the Wi-Fi space that's on a production floor now. A lot of customers like that aspect, and it just helps simplify the whole inventory replenishment process for an assembly production workspace, where the assembler doesn't have to worry about using a scanner to scan parts when they're done to be replenished, or they also don't have to fill out a manual Kanban card that a lot of people that have existing Kanban processes in place. And so all this is done automatically.
One of the things that's impressive, you talked about how there's no Wi-Fi interference, which is there is a lot of Wi-Fi interference on the shop floor.
Yeah.
The other thing that I like about this is the ease of use. It's not a loud system, right?
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays, with the and-on systems and all the bells and whistles and the alarms, there's a lot of manufacturers. Toyota is one of them that's starting to investigate, noise pollution, reducing those noises. And this is not a loud system. As you said, you don't need an RFID scanner. It's very, very simple to use, and it helps with that inventory management side. So when someone buys this and they've implemented it, the data that it retains, I guess, would it go to the cloud directly, or what happens after the data is retained and gathered in terms of inventory counts and these types of things?
So great question, Ian. So the process of how this sensor works is once it's actuated, it sends a wireless signal up to our access point. Our access point then sends it over to what we call our sensor bridge, which is a small PLC that's in an electrical cabinet on the production floor.
Okay.
And then the PLC, our sensor bridge, takes all this wireless data, creates an API. And from there, what we can do is we can send that API to a server that's on the floor, or we can keep it simple and do a cloud-based solution, which simplifies it as well. And another great thing about our wireless technology is it's all 128-bit encrypted, where we're able to work with a lot of IT cybersecurity protocols. So a lot of IT companies are very impressed with our IT cybersecurity protocols as well.
So you've got a simple, easy to use, quiet solution that has no Wi-Fi interference. It does not require the operator to spend time using an RFID scanner to barcode work orders, or to barcode, more importantly, the inventory that he's received. It can happen behind the scene in real time, and you're able to integrate that data as you described. And where does an ERP system come into play in this case?
The great thing about it is we're able to do a closed circuit solution where if an IT company or IT department at a company is skeptical about tying it into their ERP, we can do it in a self-enclosed, or we can tie it into their ERP solution as well, and we get purchasing involved, inventory turns, all of it's time stamped, so they can see how much product's being used in a shift by shift. Another great thing about this solution that companies seem to be liking is that it's very scalable. Everybody's trying to get into the IoT space. No one knows where to begin.
Yeah.
But if they already have flow racks that they purchased from Flexpipe, they can get it with a NEXY solution. They can start it at 1 or 2 workstations. They can implement it, see how it works within their existing process, and then they can calculate an ROI on that. And then if it meets their process standards and they see how efficient it makes their employees, then they're able to scan this out through the rest of their production area.
That's excellent. And one of the themes of the show has been, Industry 4.0, this adoption of smart manufacturing, the growth of digital solutions, and a lot of manufacturers they can get somewhat overwhelmed by that. What I like about this solution is that a lot of times when I visited manufacturing facilities, I've seen workers having to leave their work cell to go get inventory replenishment,
Yes.
right? Or to walk outside the cell. And there's a transit time associated with that. It's a lot of wasted time. And then you've got these inventory counts that aren't accurate. And this is a system that's, this type of flow rack would be right in the lean work zone. So you've got a focalized solution that's managing your inventory without any of the added burden of leaving the work cell.
Exactly, yeah.
Having to RFID scan and do all these things. It's a great solution, right? With minimal downtime, and it allows the operator to focus on what he's doing. I would assume that they don't even know what's happening when this is going on.
Yes, it's all done behind the scenes. Like you said, the operator, all they have to worry about is their standard operating working procedures. And then once they pull the inventory off the flow racks, everything's done behind the scenes, and the inventory shows up automatically.
That's great. And so it fits into Flexpipe mindset. We're very modular and scalable. Our mindset is, these structures that you build, they can be customized to whatever size you need. You can maximize your square footage, but whatever you have to change in the afternoon lets you get up in the morning and hit the ground running. And this is a great, simple solution. And it's excellent for, those labor-intensive type manual operations. For some of the companies here that hear Industry 4.0 and say, how do I even get started?
Yeah.
This is probably one of the most unique, easy to use systems that they can hit the ground running with. Yeah. So to end, did you kind of want to touch on anything coming down the line, or maybe discuss the typical progression of how a customer gets started or something along those lines?
Normally what they do, like is if they buy a flow rack from Flexpipe, they could reach out to us by our website, or contact Flexpipe directly, and we can just start with a simple consultation to find out what their current processes are and what they're trying to achieve, and then we can go next steps from there.
And they can manage the progression on their own, right?
That is correct.
Start small and build up over time.
Very scalable, and that's one of the benefits of our company. You can start with a small investment where you're not blowing the budget for the year on one project. You can start small, prove it out, and then scale it from there.
That is fantastic. Thank you very much, Rob.
Thank you, Ian, for your time.